Hello, and welcome again to another day of classes. Today we're going to be continuing with the rest of the Unit 8. In the previous class, we were talking about time to celebrate. That's the name of the unit. We were talking about holidays and special occasions. Today, we're going to be describing celebrations, annual events, and customs. If you remember from last class, we have the relative clauses of time. We were defining the defining and non-defining time clauses. And today we're going to be continuing with that topic in specifically adverbial clauses of time. So let's get right into it. To start, we're going to be listening to a conversation called a traditional wedding. Really interesting. We have a lot of things here. So let me try to make this. Oh, this is the best. We're going to be listening to Julia and Anusha talk about a traditional wedding in India. It's going to be really interesting. And after listening to that, we're going to listen to the second part and we're going to answer the question, what does Anusha say about her wedding reception? Okay, so let's listen.
Page 53. Exercise 8. Conversation. A traditional wedding. Part A. Listen and practice.
Is this a picture from your wedding, Anusha?
Yes, we had the ceremony in India.
And was this your wedding dress?
Yes, it's a sari, actually. In India, when women get married, they usually wear a brightly colored sari, not a white dress.
It's beautiful. So, what are weddings like in India?
Well, in some traditions, after the groom arrives, the bride and groom exchange garlands of flowers. We did that, but we didn't do some other traditional things.
Oh? Like what?
Well, before the wedding, the bride's female relatives usually have a party to celebrate, but I'm an only child, and I don't have any female cousins, so we skipped that.
That makes sense. You know, I have heard about this one tradition. When the groom takes off his shoes, the bride's sisters steal them. I guess you didn't do that either?
Oh no, we did that part. My mom stole them.
Page 53. Exercise 8. Part B. Listen to the rest of the conversation. What does Anusha say about her wedding reception?
And was this picture from your wedding reception?
Yes, sort of. This is actually from the second reception. After the wedding ceremony, my parents had a small celebration for family and close friends. Then the next day, my husband's family hosted this huge party for all our friends and relatives.
Another party? The day after the wedding?
Yes, it's an Indian tradition.
And what was it like?
It was fantastic. They hired a band and some dance performers, and there was lots of excellent food. We had a great time.
It sounds like your wedding was a lot of fun.
It really was.
Okay, very good. Really interesting. Did you get the answer to the question, what does Anusha say about her wedding reception? If you do, let's check. Well, there were two receptions. One was right after the wedding ceremony, which was organized by the bride's family, and the other party took place the day after the wedding and was organized by the groom's family, who hired a band and dance performance. It seems to be really interesting, the weddings in India. I hope that everybody could have a wedding like this if they like it and they want it like that. Okay, let's continue. We're gonna have a part of pronunciation right away. It's called stress and rhythm, and this is something really, really, really important in English. You know how you can, if you speak fast, you cannot be understood by other people? Because if I speak really fast, it can be really difficult to understand. For example, if I say, when women get married, they usually wear a brightly colored sari. Talking like that, it's really uncomfortable and really hard to understand. But if we talk in a nice rhythm, like when women get married, they usually wear a brightly colored sari. It's really easy and it's easier to understand. This is something important in English. When we talk in English, we are looking to speak in a way that everybody can understand, and it needs to be with a specific stress and rhythm. Okay, so we're gonna be practicing that. We're gonna listen and practice how is stressed all of these important words and syllable with a regular rhythm. Okay, let's listen.
Page 53. Exercise 9. Pronunciation. Stress and Rhythm. Part A. Listen and practice. Notice how stressed words and syllables occur with a regular rhythm.
When women get married, they usually wear a brightly colored sari.
Do you notice? It's like having this correct stress and regular rhythm. When women get married, they usually wear a brightly colored sari, following the same rhythm. Okay? Listen to the stress and rhythm in these sentences, then practice them. Okay? Take your time to listen.
Page 53. Exercise 9. Part B. Listen to the stress and rhythm in these sentences. Then practice them. 1.
After the groom arrives, the bride and groom exchange garlands of flowers.
2.
Before the wedding, the bride's female relatives usually have a party to celebrate.
3.
When the groom takes off his shoes, the bride's sisters steal them.
Okay, very good. Remember, you can go back in the video to listen to it again and practice. So we can say like, after the groom arrives, the bride and groom exchange garlands of flowers. Before the wedding, the bride's female relatives usually have a party to celebrate. When the groom takes off his shoes, the bride's sisters steal them. Okay? This is really important to practice, so I hope that you practice this a lot. Okay? Let's continue by going right away to the grammar for today, a continuation of what we were seeing yesterday. And this time is adverbial clauses of time. And as well as the last time, I have some extra material. Okay, so the adverb clauses of time are introduced by subordinating conjunctions whenever, while, after, before, since, and as. Basically, is that the main thing about this is that we use the adverbial conjunctions like when, after, before. We're saying that something is happening in a moment of the time. Okay, so let's start seeing them. When you have finished your work, you may go home. So after this event in time have happened, then you can do this. When you have finished your work, you may go home. I will do it when I think fit. Don't talk while he's singing. After the law has been passed, this form of crime ceased. Do it before you forget. Before you go, bring me some water. There was silence as the teacher leader spoke. Just as he entered the room, the clock struck. Okay? So in all of these examples, even here, when women get married, they usually wear a brightly colored sari. We use the adverbial clauses to say, in this specific type of moment, these things happen. Okay? Very good. Now, let's see how we can use this. We can use the adverb clause at the beginning or at the end. Here, we're using it at the beginning, but there's multiple ways of using it. I'm sorry. Where is it? Here. Okay. So if we use it at the beginning, we always need to use the comma when putting together the two clauses. When light strikes an object, comma, the light bounces off. When you look in the mirror, comma, you see your reflection. But if you use it at the end, you change the clause to the end of the sentence and you don't need to use a comma. The light bounces off when light strikes an object. You see your reflection when you look in the mirror. Okay? It's really, really, really simple. You use Start by using the adverb clause in the beginning, then put a comma, and then finish the sentence. If you use it at the end, use start the sentence and finish without a comma. Other frequently used time expressions appear in this chart below. So we have some other time expressions. We have after, before, since, until, whenever, or while. Some examples: she brushed her hair after she saw her reflection, or after she saw her reflection, comma, she brushed her hair. Before they turned the light on, before they turned on the lights, they couldn't see anything. They couldn't see anything before they turned on the lights. Both of them are correct. I haven't seen him since he left this morning. Since he left this morning, I haven't seen him. We stayed there until the next day. Until the next day, we stayed there. Whenever I leave home, I turn off the lights. I turn off the lights whenever I leave home. You see how you can put it whenever you want? Okay, very good. I hope that you understand this. It's quite easy. Okay, so let's see what we are using here. When women get married, when this moment happens, they usually wear a brightly colored sari. Another way to put this is the women usually wear a brightly colored sari when they get married. In this case, we need to change the noun and the pronoun. After the groom arrives, the bride and groom exchange garlands of flowers. The bride and groom exchange garlands of flowers after the groom arrives. That is the other way to say it. Before the wedding, the bride's female relatives usually have a party to celebrate. Another way to say it, the bride's female relatives usually have a party to celebrate before the wedding. Okay, very good. I hope that you understand this. It's actually quite easy. That's everything is easy after you understand. Okay, so now to practice this, let's complete this exercise. What do you know about wedding customs in North America? Complete these sentences with the information below. Okay, so you're gonna complete the numbers with the letter. You're gonna match them. So take your time to do it, and then we're gonna check. You finish? Now let's check. So number one, before a man and woman get married, they usually date each other for a year or more. When a couple gets engaged, the man often gives the woman an engagement ring. Right after a couple gets engaged, they usually begin to plan the wedding. Oh my god. When a woman gets married, she usually wears a long white dress and a veil. A veil, sorry. When guests go to a wedding, they almost always give the bride and groom gifts or some money. I prefer money. Right after a couple gets married, they usually go on a short trip called a honeymoon. Okay? If you got those answers, very good. You know a lot about wedding customs in North America and you did this correct. Okay? So let's go to the last thing for the day. It's a reading. This one is called Out with the Old and In with the New. Interesting. So you can stop the video here to read these two parts and stop the video here to finish this reading. After you read this, we can go here to complete these two exercises. The first one, after reading the article, you're gonna check the true or false statements, the true or false for each statement about New Year's customs, and then correct each false statement. Okay, so take your time, and now let's check. Well, number one, in Ireland, people eat loaves of bread for good luck. That is false. People hit walls with food, bread, for good luck. Okay, very good. Number two, they eat apples for good luck in Spain. That is false. That is false. People eat grapes for good luck in Spain. Number three, it is true that in China, people change the color of their doors. It is true that in Colombia, they burn a doll with all things inside. And it is true that in Germany, people watch dinner for one because it's about New Year's Eve. Okay, very good. If you have those answers, very good. And the last thing for today, this activity, what do the underlined words in the article refer to? Write the correct word. So if you notice back here in the article, we have different words that are underlined, like them, these, one. You can stop the video. Where's the other? They and this other they. And you need to say what they are referring to. Did you get the answers? Let's check. Well, number one, them is referring to things. Number two, this is referring to hitting the walls and doors of their houses with loaves of bread. Number three, one is referring to grape. For they is referring to people in Ecuador and Colombia. And this other they is referring to some customs. Well, that's everything for today. I hope that you like this class and the classes. And this is everything for now. At the next time, we're going to be continuing with the unit 9. So I hope that you look forward to it. Okay, so see you on the next time. Bye.